Okay, guys, I hope I am loud and clear. You can hear my voice. Just give me a thumbs up, or maybe just give me a kind of a confirmation if I talk about, because obviously right now I'm not able to hear myself for a very simple reason. I have this sorry, not able to hear myself. Just confirming that. If I talk about, because obviously right now, okay, awesome. I am loud and clear. So we have just a minute remaining, and a lot of people I'm expecting to be coming. So obviously we are starting our 28 days skillnagar 28 days of coding challenge, where the whole idea here is to actually learn something and making sure that whatever things we wish to learn, again, I'm sorry, right now I'm just a bit occupied with the other stuff which is happening in the background, like maybe just turning off my mobile phone right now if I talk about. So this is something weird which is happening again and again. Yeah, I hope now everything is clear. So what we are going to do, we are going to learn amazing thing. We are going to learn amazing and awesome things, and I'm expecting you guys to be fully present. Obviously, I will be sharing a slide with you guys with which you can actually learn what we are going to do. Okay, so I will be quickly sharing my screen. Just confirm me if you can see that or not. And let me just quickly share my screen. Awesome. And I will now quickly go to the, okay, I don't know how to do full, okay, present. Okay, awesome, fine. Cool. So 28 days of coding challenge, what we are going to do, what we are going to accomplish, and why is it important for you to actually be part of this challenge if I talk about. And for some reason, I am getting still distraction because again, the Zoom call does not work great for me. And let me just quickly confirm if I can select the screen. Okay, awesome. Screen is visible. Awesome, fine, guys. Obviously, if you're right now, please give a thumbs up. Put in your questions if you have any questions, and we are going to do something amazing and awesome. And obviously, we are planning also. So, like maybe if you want, you can join our live sessions directly in the Zoom call where I'm taking right now. So I'm not sure about it. So let's quickly get started. So who should be first of all joining this hackathon? If I talk about, I should not say hackathon kind of a thing. It's a challenge. If I talk about, it's more of a boot camp. So any students, hobbyists or freshers, this is not designed for anyone who has certain amount of experience, maybe 1 year or 2 years of experience, because am I audible? Because I cannot see. Guys, just let me confirm if I'm audible or not, because I don't know, maybe the recording has paused or what has happened. Actually be part of this challenge if I talk about. And for some reason, I am getting still distraction because again, the Zoom call does not work. Just a second, guys. I think. Just let me confirm if I'm audible. Okay, I am. Actually, I'm getting some weird effects right now. I'm not sure why it is happening, but yes, this is happening. So again, I do apologize for that. So who should be participating? Students, hobbyists, and freshers, for a very simple reason. This is not designed for someone who has some experience. So if you're a student who is struggling a bit or who is thinking, okay, I'm not sure what should I be doing. So this whole month of Fab, we are going to learn so many amazing things and you're going to be awesome. So let's move forward to the next slide if I talk about. And guys, I'm just going to take 5 minutes of your slides and then I'll move forward. What we will learn, we will be learning how to build full stack web applications if I talk about, and hosting those applications on AWS cloud. I'll repeat, we will be learning how to build those full stack web applications. In the front end, maybe we will use Vue.js, maybe React.js. Again, I'm not sure about it, but we will be using something like that. And then we will be hosting those applications on AWS cloud, and we will be leveraging the power of cloud. So again, I'm excited about it. I hope you guys are as well. Now, what will be the learning outcome? So by the end of the challenge, you will be able to make full stack applications. Again, I'm not saying you're going to be able to make thorough, big applications. If I talk about, you will be able to make good full stack applications. And obviously it's more about you, what you will be doing. It's more about you and how you are implementing things. It's not that I will be doing everything. then you will be able to host those applications on cloud, which is important. Now, if you have this question, I don't know anything, so please do not worry. We will be learning everything from scratch. So from today, we will be learning everything from scratch. And again, I'm going to take maybe half an hour session, maybe 1 hour session. Again, I'm not sure about it, but yes, this is how things will move on. Now, obviously, there is a dedicated mentor support which will be provided to you guys by me. Okay, so we have an exclusive Telegram group for mentorship. So if you have questions related to what is happening, what is new coming up, or maybe if you're facing some challenge, obviously put all those questions in the mentorship group where you can ask the questions, and obviously you will be getting a response. So if you wish to join, the link will be available in the description of this particular video, as well as in the first comment. Or if you want to maybe scan it right now, you can do that. The last and the final thing is exclusive certificates, not for participants, but for challengers. So if you're completing daily tasks, you will be able to actually win a certificate. Now, the reason why we are giving this kind of a certification, because we understand participation certifications are worthless. It is useless. So it is better that we give certification which hold a value. So if by the end of 28th day, if you are eligible for a certification, that means you have worked hard. That means you have worked hard. Now, what is the daily activity you have to do? You have to first of all learn. Obviously, you have to learn through this live session. If you're not able to learn through this live session, you can always watch the recording. Just give me a second. Okay, fine. Secondly, upload code on GitHub. So we will be learning how you will be uploading code on GitHub. And finally, post comment on video with your GitHub repo. So whatever work you have done, you have to make sure that it is available on the GitHub repo so that we can actually see that and we can actually analyze it and we can see where you are standing. So that's it for the slide section. Now let's move into the learning part, because that is where we are focusing. We are not focusing on the sessions if I talk about. So today we will be learning about GitHub, and yeah. So today we will be learning about Git and GitHub. What is Git and what is the use of GitHub? Because this is one tool which is going to be very important for you. This is one tool which is going to be very, very important for you. So please make sure that you are implementing what we are doing. Okay. So what is Git? Git is a source control management system. Git is a source control management system. Now, obviously, you won't be able to understand what I'm trying to say. So instead of telling you, let me show you what actually Git is. So let me share my screen. I am not sure. Yeah. So give me a second. Let me just open my Visual Studio Code. Okay, I just realized that I have to install this tool as well. Give me a second. Let me just finish quickly installing this Visual Studio Code. Okay. The link of this particular tool which we are going to use will be available in the download section, or I would say in the comment section. So you can do that. And yes, let me actually show you guys how to do that. Okay. Let me show you how you have to do it. So I'll be sharing my screen. Just give me a second. Cool. So when you will be downloading this tool of Visual Studio Code from this particular website, VS Code, if you can Google it, you can obviously do that. So you will just download this tool of VS Code and you will get something like this. Now I will be simply installing this tool because this is the tool we will be using for throughout the 28 days challenge. So please make sure you have this tool. I'm doing nothing. I'm just clicking next, 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 next. That's it. I'm just doing that, nothing apart from that. Okay. So please make sure that you have this particular tool. After that, you will be needing GitHub Desktop and Git SCM. All the links will be available. I'll be showing you the links. Okay. I'll be giving you the links. So I'll say Git SCM. I have searched for Git SCM. I do understand I'm going a bit faster. I want to make sure that we are learning. Okay. So I searched for Git SCM and I got this particular URL. and I have this particular website open. Now, since I'm using Windows, so I will simply click on download for Windows. And I will click on 64-bit Git for Windows setup. And I believe I have Git available with me for this user as well. I'm not sure about it because this is a different user I'm using. This is not my main user. So let's hope that is going to get downloaded. And guys, since this is a live, I would recommend that please pardon me if some hiccups do happen. Again, I do apologize upfront. I don't want to make sure that we are not doing that. Fine. So that's a next process. Give me a second, guys. Okay, I do apologize. There was someone at the door. I could not do anything about it. Fine. So as I was saying, we will be using GNU. I'm sorry. I just got distracted, guys. So we will be downloading Git and we will be installing it. So I'm going to click on next. Then I'm going to again click on next. And obviously it is saying it already exists. Okay, sorry. So it's already existing for me. It is already there for me. So I don't want to download it again. Or maybe I would say install it again. So now I'll open this tool and we will move forward. Can I do this? Yeah. Cool. So now what you have to do, guys, I'll just share my screen. So I'll say git scm. Now, when I do git scm, or I would say git bash, I get this kind of a thing on my desktop. So I just have to open this particular tool. It's a command line, guys. Do not worry. Okay, it's a command line. Do not worry because it's like that only. And let me just quickly increase the font size. Just give me a second. See, I just want to make sure that we are learning. Okay, I just want to make sure we are learning things here, not distracted by the kind of softwares I'm having. And I think I should not be using. Fine, let's move forward. So we will be learning about Git. Now, what is Git? Git is a source control management system. It's a tool with which we control, or I would say we manage our source control. But Avinash, why do I need a source control management system? So let me show you. My Visual Studio Code is already here for me. So I quickly open it and I will open a folder which is going to be in the desktop, and I'll say new folder, learning Git. And this source will be available for you in the GitHub repository, which we are going to build. Okay. So I'll say I trust this folder. Now, what is there? So what I'll do, I'll simply click create a file, avinash.txt. I have created this file, avinash.txt. Now, what I am doing, I'm just increasing the font size. So in my avinash.txt file, this is kind of my to-do list. I'll say to-do list. Now, what do I want to do? So I'll say, I want to first of all do a live session. Secondly, I want to do, maybe drink some water. And third, I want to do is have a good night's sleep. Okay, so this is what I want to do. Okay, this is what I want to do. Now, let's say I have completed this stuff. I would say live session. I have completed for the day of 01, 02, 23. I've completed that. Now, this is pending and this is will be done after live session. Now you can see Again, I'm just coding as per my requirement. I'm just coding as per my requirement. But the problem is, now I want to give this file to you guys. Now I want to give this file to you guys. So what will I do? I will either do one thing. I will simply send this file over email to you, which is a bad practice, especially in the uh, coding part, because I do not send file over email. Just imagine if I have 5 developers working under me. Do I have to send this file 5 times to the people, maybe 5 separate emails to them and say, hey, this is my to-do list and I have completed my work? No, it does not work like that. It works in a very simple fashion, which is I'm going to make this list and now I'm going to add this in my Git repository. How will I do that? I will simply come to this terminal and I will navigate. So what I can do, a shortcut here is quite simple. I will simply come to this particular folder and I'll say right click, git bash here. I'll simply say git bash here. So what is happening? This particular folder for me has opened. The particular folder for me has opened. And if I'll say ls, which is going to give me list of files which are there. Now I'll say git add. Sorry, I have to do git init. I apologize. Git init. So it has initialized this particular repository for me. What it does, again, I'll tell you what it does. Now I'll say git add avinash.txt. I have said git add avinash.txt. What it is doing, it is now going to add this file in the working Git repo. It is now going to add this file in the working Git repo. So it can be tracked. So it can be tracked. I'll give you an example. Like, let's say we go for a, what should I say? When we go for maybe a concert. So they give us a tag which can be tracked. So with which we can actually find who is who. When you guys join college, you get an ID card with which they can identify who you are. In similar fashion, in order for this particular file to be tracked, I have to add this inside Git. So I am saying git add avinash.txt. Now I will press enter. Fine. Now what do I want to do? Now I'll say git commit -m added avinash.txt file in my working repo. Now what I'm doing, whatever work I have done, I have added in my repo, and now I'm giving summary of the work. Now I'm giving summary of the work. So it could be anything else. I'll show you what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'll say git commit -m added avinash.txt file in my working repo. Okay, now it is saying that it cannot identify me. So simply email is going to be name Avinash Sate. So actually what happened, it asked me who is doing this work, because obviously we have to tell who has done what work. So with this git config global user.email, I have mentioned that this is my email and this is my name. Now let me clear everything and I'll say git commit -m added avinash.txt file in my working repo. What this is, git commit is actually the summary of the work I have done. I'll press enter and obviously you can see it has added this particular repo. Now, what happened, Avinash? I'm not able to understand anything. Like it just looked very normal. I'm just saving a file. Now, if I have to save a file, why I'm doing it here? Why I cannot do it with VS Code and simply come here and simply say save? Where's the save? Yeah. Why I'm not using it like that? Well, I'll tell you why. Now, since we have added this file in the working repository, now you can do one thing. You can come to Visual Studio Code and you can see these kind of source control. Control Shift G. If you will press that, you can see what is happening. Okay, nothing is visible right now. I want to see all the commit messages. Okay, fine. I cannot see any commit message right now. We will be using Git desktop for that. Okay. Okay, that is also not available for me right now. Again, guys, I'm using a separate desktop. So I have added this one file. Now, if I'll make some changes, teach about Git. Now I save the file. And now if I come to this Git hub, Git repo, and I'll say Git diff. And now you can see it has added something. New line has been added in the end of the file. Okay. So this is the old code. This is the line which is removed. Technically, it's not removed. It is actually updated. And teach about Git has been added. Teach about Git has been added. If I say Git status, let me clear everything right now. Git status. You can see it is saying modified avinash.txt. But if I don't know what has been modified, what is modified, I can simply say git diff. So the previous file was like this. The new file is like this. But this looks very confusing. So let's do one thing. Let's use something which is known as GitHub desktop, which is going to let us know or let us do this all crazy stuff in a very simpler way. So what I'll do, I'll simply search for GitHub desktop and I'll open this and I will download this tool and I'll save this file. Now GitHub desktop tool is simply the better version of managing Git repository. It is a better version to manage Git repository. I hope you guys are learning that. And obviously, if you have some questions, put them in the comment section, because this is going to be an amazing session for you guys. You are ultimately learning a lot of things. And I hope maybe repository. Okay, awesome. I was just confirming if I'm still connected or not. So you can see this particular piece of software is getting downloaded. GitHub desktop. Guys, please make sure that this is going to be a very, very amazing session for you guys. So please enjoy it thoroughly, learn a lot of things from it. And obviously you have the mentor support. So it's not just one way, it's two way. And I'm going to do things practically. I will be doing everything live in front of you guys. So you will be able to understand the process which happens and the kind of distractions which come in. So almost done. GitHub desktop. Once it is downloaded, I will simply open when done. Again, I just want to make sure that I don't have to navigate to different locations. And for some reason, okay, fine. Now it is going to get installed for me. So guys, please look into it, the process of installing GitHub desktop if I talk about. Now, obviously, it is asking me to sign in, which is a very good option, which is a very good reason I should be doing that. So I will simply click on sign in to github.com. If you don't have a GitHub account, please make sure you make one GitHub account. It's free of cost. It is going to be very useful for you. And now it is asking me this configure Git. Now I'll let you know. We did something, I think, a long time ago, we did something like this. Git config global user.name, git config user.email. This is the same thing we are doing here. I can say configure manually, or I can say using GitHub desktop. So I'll simply click on finish. And now it has done everything for me. Now it has done everything for me. So now what I'll do, I'll simply come here and I'll open the repository. So I'll come here and I'll say add local repository. And now I'll choose the path desktop, learning Git, and select folder. And I'll say add repository. And now it is very easy for me to see what is happening. So First of all, let me do one thing. Let me see what we have done. So we have added something. So you can see this particular line, have a good night's sleep. It did not had this new line. It was ending there, but now this has a new line. And now we have added teach about Git. So now I'll commit this message as well. So I'll say, now instead of typing this kind of a message, whoops. Git commit and typing this message git add avinash.txt. What I'm doing, I'm saying in the changes section, I want to include this file git add avinash.txt. And what do I want to give the summary here? So I will say added about teach about Git. I'll just say added teach about Git and I'll say commit to master. And now it is committed. Now, if I'll come here and look into the history part, now you can see what is happening. 7 minutes ago, I created this file and I added this content. Just now, I updated this file. You can see modified and I added these lines, just one line. And now let me show you something amazing. If I'll remove this PEN, I'll just remove this PEN. I'll save this file. Now I'll go back to GitHub. I'll come on changes. And now you can see that it has removed this line and it has added this line. Now, technically, what is happening behind the scene, what Git assumes that you have deleted the whole line and you have added the new code. It does not differentiate based on the things which you have added or things which you have removed. So you can see it has highlighted this part, which is kind of a differentiating factor, but it is still showing that you have removed this line. So you don't have to worry about it. Okay, it looks like that, but it is not like that. So now I'll say removed pen from the file. This is the summary of my commit. And I'll say commit to master. Now, if I'll go to history, now you can see I can go back to the files and see what is happening. So my current file is like this. My current file is like this. Now I'll show you the very good example here. And for some reason, yeah, fine. I think that is sufficient. Or yeah, that is sufficient. Okay, just ignore this, what is happening here. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me commit this message. Okay, I've already committed this message and I'll delete this so that we can see what is happening. I'll save this file. I'll go to changes, removed the useless things, commit to master, and now I'll go to history. So now you can see, I think I have added, yeah, fine. So I have added these things. I don't know why Visual Studio Code is showing me like that. So this is my current file. Now what is happening? Now let me show you what will happen. This was the first version of the file. Can I go back to this file? I can do that with Control-Z, but what I can do, I can also see revert changes in commit, or I would say revert changes in commit. And I am getting a conflict error. So actually, I think I'm using a wrong example if I talk about. Okay, I think there is, okay, I have deleted that file. Okay, I should not be doing that. So let me discard those changes. Fine. Now let me actually show you this with another example. So now what I'll do, I'll create a branch here. So consider a branch a new folder. So just like I have a folder which has some copies of files, if I'll make a duplicate folder of it, it will be a new file. So I'll say new branch, and now it will take master branch as a base. Now I'll say second branch. Now I have created a second branch. Now what I'll do, I'll make some changes here. I'll save the file. And now I'll come to history again, nothing happens, and you can see there are some few changes we have made. So added more changes. Now let me show you the magic. I'll change the branch to master. And the changes which I have done in the second branch are gone. Now let me do something else. I'll save the file. And now obviously I'll come to GitHub and I'll say made more changes to master. I'll commit the changes. Now let me show you something amazing. I'll switch the branch to second branch. You can see I have these changes. I'll switch the branch to master branch and you can see I have these changes. So you can see I'm able to manage my code quite easily. I'm able to manage my code quite easily, which was not possible using simple email. So I hope you guys are able to understand what we are learning here right now. I am just checking if we have some comments right now. And obviously I can see a couple of people who are watching me right now. If you have some questions, please post them in the comment section. And please make sure that you're learning something. And obviously, please give me a thumbs up and let me know if you are facing any issues so that I can answer them for you. Now, after doing this, what next? Now we will be publishing this repository. So other people can also see. So what I'll do, I'll simply come here and I'll say publish repository. And I'll say learning Git. In the organization, I'll choose skillnagar. And I'll say learning about Git in skillnagar 28 days of coding. And I'll say learning about Git. Yeah, fine. I'm not going to keep it private. Private simply means only people who I am going to give the access can access it. But right now I want to make it public. So I'll say click and publish repository. So what it will do, it will take my code from my local machine and it will upload the code to GitHub, or I would say it will upload the code on cloud. It will upload the code on cloud. Now let me open view on GitHub. So I'm going to click on that. And now you can see this repository is available. So if I put this repository in the comments section, if I talk about, if you are watching me right now, you can see that this code is available. Now from here, we can manage this piece of code more beautifully. How? First of all, if I'll click on this commit message, if I talk about, we call this as a commit hash. Okay. If I'm going to click on this, you can see all the changes which were made in this particular commit message. So you can see teach about Git was removed, but instead of that, we added a new line in teach about it. There is a new line added and master branch text was added. Secondly, if I'll come back here, I can switch from branch master to, I have just one branch available with me. So let me actually open the second branch as well and publish this branch as well. So I'm publishing this branch. Why we are doing this? We are doing this because we want to make sure that when we are going to follow this piece of code, when you're going to follow this hackathon, or I would say bootcamp, you will be able to learn, because this Git concepts we will be using. And obviously, if you don't know about it, I will be teaching you all this throughout the series. So don't worry about it. So now what we are doing, I'm saying avinash.text. And now I have my branch, which is second branch. And if I'm going to click on this branch, you can see the changes which are here. You can come to insight sections and you can see the Perl section. So you can see right now, I am the only person who is doing that. So I have made 6 commits. Okay. So here is how things are going. And if I click on these 5 commits, so you can see that these are the commit messages which we have made. If I'm going to click on this, so you can see we added the first file. If I'm going to go back and I'll say added teach about Git, so you can see these are the second details we have. The third changes which we made. So technically we are doing Control Z, or we are looking through the history what we have done this. Now let's come to the important point. Why do we need that? First, because if we want to add someone who wants to use this repository or want to use this piece of code, they can do that. Secondly, managing a big piece of code is very difficult for us. Managing a big piece of code is very difficult for us too. So that is why we have to do such things. That is why we have to do such things. Now, what I'll do, I'll simply click on compare and pull request. Now, what it is saying, that second branch has recent pushes 1 minute ago. That means the changes which we have in the second branch are not there in the master branch. What is a master branch? Master branch is technically the main branch of Git repository. That means that is the ultimate source code which we have to reference. So I'm going to click on compare and pull request. Now, do I want to make any changes like whatever I have done? So I'll say merging branch, second branch, master. So basically what I'm doing, I'm copying the changes from the second branch to the master branch. This is Control C, Control V kind of a thing which is happening. And now it is saying cannot automatically merge. Do not worry, you can still create a pull request. Now, here is what is happening. It has some issues, which is kind of a merge issue if I talk about. So I'll say create a pull request right now. Let's see if it can match. So this branch has conflicts. Conflicts simply means there are few changes which are conflicting it. Let me show you. I'm going to click on resolve conflicts. And now it is saying that these are the changes which are there. This is the second branch changes we have, and this is the master branch changes we have. Let me show you. This is the master branch, sorry, this is the second branch changes we have. So this line is saying that this is the starting point of second branch changes. This line is saying that this is the start of first line branches. Now we have three options. We can either remove the second branch changes, we can remove the master branch changes, or we can keep all of them. So what I'll do, I'll simply click and remove this, and I'll keep everything which is there, which is technically merging everything. So I've said I need part of both things, that is from the master branch as well as the second branch. So I'll simply click on mark as resolve. Now I'll say commit merge. When I did commit merge, what it has done, now it is again checking the conflicts, and I'll say merge pull request, and I'll say confirm merge. Cool, it has merged my details. So now if I'll come back here and if I'll go back to my avinash.txt file inside master branch, you can see it has changes of the second branch as well. So that's it for today, guys. We had some hiccups today. We had some hiccups, uninvited guest, some fiddling around with the code, some mismanagement which happened there. But anyways, we learned a lot of things. I hope you guys have learned a lot of things. I'm waiting for you guys to give me some questions in case if you have. And obviously, I am expecting questions from your side, because with your questions, the whole idea of these live sessions, or I would say live bootcamp, or if I talk about live coding challenges, that you can learn things from me directly. You can have a proper mentorship if I talk about, and you can have a proper way of learning things. Okay, so I would assume that this is the conclusion of this live session. If I talk about now, task for you is very simple. Create a Git repository, make some changes, and post that changes in the comment section. If you want to actually do that in different mechanism, so use this hashtag of hashtag skillnagar 28 days coding challenge, and we will be reviewing it for you. So guys, with this, thank you for watching this live session. Tomorrow we are going to come in, and from tomorrow onwards, we will be learning HTML, the basics of HTML. So if you don't have any idea about HTML, tomorrow is the day you are going to learn awesome things. So with this, thank you guys for watching.